Manager Eddson, the Marketing Manager for Nyamazane Investment, and I am here to present to you an app called Afriagrifed under the theme of digitizing the African food security. Next slide. So, how many of you in 4 or 5 years ago, $1,000 Namibian was enough to help you buy your food expenses for a month? But how many of you know that right now $1,000 Namibian is less than enough to cover it in 2 weeks? How many of you know how much a plastic for a pack of tomatoes, how much it costs in a retail market right now? It's going for around about $40 to $60. Heck, how much does a pack of a sack of potatoes cost? And do you know that we import 80% of the food that we consume? And it's not because we don't have farmers or we don't have producers that produce the same food that we consume, but it's because if you talk to many farmers or if you talk to many people that are producing, regardless of what they are producing that they can offer to the market, they will tell you that they do not have evidence of the market. Next slide. What if from the comfort of your home, from the comfort of your farm, from the comfort of your university, because we have come up with an app to combine 3 things: the market, the producer, and the education sector. The producer knows what the market needs, the producer knows the demand of the market knows how much the producer is producing, and the education sector is more in an intermediary to offer professional advice. An example, there's a problem for, in example, farming. You have people and qualified experts from universities that can give advice. Now imagine if all of that was available on one platform where someone can have access to such information. You want to buy, maybe you want to buy cattle, and the breed that you want is in South Africa. And then you have only one app. You go there, you don't need to post on your WhatsApp, who has cattle that I can buy in South Africa. You have an app where you can access everything. And we have decided to come up with that app. And what do you get? What do you get when you put those three together in one thriving ecosystem? You get to track the sales, you get to link people from different environments, you get to, most importantly, get reliable data information according to our Namibian market and food production. And most importantly, you get to increase or to track, as in our case, to track the increase in food production, because that's our main goal. And what is our target market? Mostly we target producers, which are the farmers. We target retail shops, which are now wholesalers, bulk buyers, which is more or less like wholesalers. We target vendors, because most of the vendors sell our fresh produce on the streets and they suffer a lot. What's in from the comfort of their home, they can be able to carry out their transactions without going to waste time on the side of the road. And mostly also universities. Our market is, approximately we have concluded that it will take us to conquer Namibia in 4 years, to conquer SADC in 4 years, and to conquer the rest of Africa in another 4 years. So it's plus minus 15 years. So we do not have any competition that we know of right now. We are the only ones that we can clearly break even when we are walking. That we had the brilliant idea, or Mr. Shimbali had the brilliant idea to bring these 3 things together, which is the producer, the market, and the education sector, into one thriving ecosystem that can help boost food production. The direct benefit for having our app, or the direct benefit for introducing this to you, number one, will alleviate unwanted expenses, and number two, we want to make food affordable to everyone. Everybody here, and I know it's a fact, everybody here complains about food prices. Our business model will be, because obviously, if someone is to invest, they would want a return. Our business model is we are going to charge approximately $8 per month for like a monthly subscription kind of way, like a debit order, like it happens with iTunes, like that. That's approximately $159. We are going to charge everyone who wants to use our platform, but they are not registered. We are going to charge everybody a percentage on their profit if they want to get a direct link and carry out a transaction using our app. And all of these costs that you see here, and all of not costs but charges that you see, apart from the registration, is just to encourage everybody to register and combine all of the people in one app, in one ecosystem that can thrive together. That's why it's in bold in red that better be registered. This is our app right now. And I would like to say that our app right now is still in the testing phase. We have 35 downloads and we have 17 responses. It's quite expensive to bring up such an app because we want an app, we want a website, and we want to expand. It's very, very expensive to pay app developers. But so far, this is where we are. This is the application interface. You can see different people's profiles. Because you are registered, it's like it's Facebook. You have your own profile where you can upload everything that you want to sell. If you are a producer, you look for a market, if you are in the market, you have your profile so that you can interact with other people as well as professionals. Next. Oh, and that's a link for downloads. Now, right now, as we are speaking right now, it's a bit problematic because it takes a lot to make this running, but it's available only on Android phones right now. So if you want to download this, you have an Android, this is a link to check it out. Okay, it's quite a small team. It's Mr. Ephraim Shimbali, he's a civil engineer. Mr. Apollos David, who is very, very expensive. He's an app developer. And I myself am Longa Eddson. Next. We are asking for, generously, we are asking for 5,500 USD for 10% equity. And we are going to use that to cover all of our expenses to launch the app, to launch the website, to pay our employees, to pay for domain costs, and to pay for Apple Play, Android, I don't know what you call it. Android something, but we go for Android and Apple. And also for all of our expenses in conclusion to launch the app. And thank you very much for investing in us, because if you invest in us, you are creating a one Africa. If you remember, Muammar Gaddafi wanted a united Africa with one currency. We want a united Africa in food security.
Thank you so much, Iilonga. I have a question because I realized I never get to ask questions. I was like, anybody have questions? I see that all of you have varying backgrounds and will obviously contribute to the benefit of the overall team and mission. But I don't see anyone with an agricultural background. So do you consult anyone? Is there anyone who advises you? Or is it just you identified a need and decided to just come up with a solution?
Yeah, it was Mr. Ephraim Shimbali. He came to me some few years ago with a brilliant idea, but right now for us to get everything going, because if we saw on the team sheet, I'm a civil engineer, he's a civil engineer, and Mr. Apollos David is an IT guy. We do get consultation from farmers, and I can say that most of the people that have downloaded our app are the producers of their farmers. So we do get feedback from them, and we do consult them.
Thank you very much, Eddson. You mentioned that you're the only one in Namibia, right? Doing this.
There's one other Namibia, but doesn't include all three. Only includes the producer in the market.
Okay. No, yeah, obviously, but still, I think those are the two more important parts. I can name Nature, I can name Tololi, I can also name Foodlink. So there is a bit of competition for you. But I think what I can, the question I have really is around the issue of how you're going to get the produce to the end user from the farmer. Have you thought about the logistics component of this whole platform?
Okay, I don't want to make things complicated, but when you have a great idea, You have to do it. You know, when you have a great idea, you have to do everything in your capacity to make the reality. As of now, like I said, we are still in the testing phase, and I can humbly say that we did not really think about it. We were not yet there. Yeah, but because we are still in the beginning. But it will be fairly easy because imagine you are home, you want let me say imagine if you are pick and pay, you want maybe 500 kilograms of let me say cabbage. You go on the app, you talk to or you find a producer that can you talk to a producer because it's like a profile, you can DM them if you want to say that, and then more or less you two discuss. And I think when the app fully finishes, there will be transport and logistics in between there where you can exchange goods and yeah. Did I answer the question? Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is Tatenda. I just want to find out how, considering that most of the producers are in semi-rural and rural areas, and we know of network issues and stuff, how are you going to get the producers to get on the app?
Okay, but that's okay. We have been actually we even spoke about it yesterday with Mr. Shimbari. Because I asked him like, do you know that technology in Namibia is not big, but I can say that we are getting the technological wise, research way. We are getting there. We know that each and everybody is somehow getting a smartphone. All you need is a smartphone, and if you, I don't know, we have our places where you can get network, or you can get if you want to access the app. But according to network and whatnot, we don't really have that much of a say in it. We can just make the app available to users.
Can you not like get involved with the universities as well? Because you mentioned the education part. Maybe at career fairs just to market yourself even more and get ask the younger ones involved as well.
Okay, no, thank you very much. We would love to do that if and when the universities give us an opportunity to do so. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I probably don't have a question. I probably want to share advice.
Yes, sir.
And part of my advice is that pay attention to the first question that Yesaya asked, because that determines the value add of your app. So if you cannot solve that, don't leave that until the last, because if you cannot solve that, the problem with the agricultural value chain is a farmer sitting on his farm wanting to get a product to me. Yeah? And that value chain is fairly rich because I think he's under time pressure. I want that product within about 72 hours, if more, maybe 5 days. So you need to figure out how the farmer, after he harvests, gets the product to me in the freshest condition that is possible. The in between there is logistics, because the farmer doesn't have the storage capacity. And he can't transport it, and he can't transport small scale quantities or small quantities, because the nature of Namibian farms is such that we don't do massive commercial farms. We do smaller scale farmers that produces tomatoes that are fairly small. So as soon as you move a tomato more than 30 kgs, it starts costing you. Then you start eating the price of the tomato, because the tomato is what, I mean, let's give it, maybe it's $3 or whatever it is. Yeah. As soon as you start moving it, then the price goes up. So you need to solve for that equation. I think really spend some time. That, because I think the technology is there in terms of the app and everything else, but I think what you need to solve for in Namibia is the small market and the long distances from farms. That's what we need to. And you don't have concentrated centers. You don't have big centers like in Europe, where if you move 60 kilometers to Uganda, you can cross, say, 3 big population centers. You don't have that. So you transport something from Rundu, Sumet, and that distance alone is going to be more than the price of the produce that you are trying to get to Sumet. So really just maybe think about that and solve for that and see how
will provide that solution. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the
Regarding your pitch, yeah, I think it took a little bit of time for me to even understand because you kept saying it's an app, it's an app. So the next time you pitch, you say we do agri-tech and we're SaaS.
We do?
It's an agri-tech
Agri-tech.
company
No?
that does SaaS.
Okay.
Understand? Then I already know, oh, it's a SaaS company, agri-tech,
Okay.
probably an app somewhere. Yeah. Also, I think it's the marketing slide. That's you were saying that your total addressable market,
Mhm.
right? You didn't actually explain. You said in 4 years we're going to conquer this. In 4 years we're going to conquer this. In 4 years we're going to conquer that. And I think it falls back to the first question you were asked of who exactly are your competitors. Because once you know that, you know exactly how much of the market is actually like you can actually obtain, and you know how much that costs, not in years, but actually in cash. And then I wanted to ask, why is everything in US dollars? If you are functioning in Namibia, why is it in US dollars?
We just thought that we thought that we would have people from abroad.
Yeah.
And we thought that using USD to make it like a friendly currency for everyone to understand.
Fine. Okay, so now that you said that, if you're gonna say that you are waiting for people from abroad, usually if you ask for 10% equity from people abroad, you usually get 50,000 euros, about 50 something US dollars to get 10% equity. So 5,000 is a bit too little for the 10% if you're going for an international crowd.
Okay.
I also want to ask, besides the one person, the app developer, do you own your technology?
We own a
Do you own your software?
Right.
Right, currently, and you only have one developer. And are they full time on the team as a co-founder, or they just stay as someone you pay to develop the app?
No, it's just someone who we pay to develop the app.
Oh, so you guys don't have any technical co-founder at the moment?
No.
All right. Then how does your data then get processed? Because you're saying that you're going to expand, right? So how is the data processing? Because data laws might not be 100% in Namibia, but in South Africa, they're locked down. And if you're saying you're expanding into the rest of Africa, they're locked down as well. Have you thought of that avenue?
Can we maybe break down your question and email us, and then we can answer you relevantly enough information once I come out of the answer already.
I just have two questions. The first one is I didn't really get what your app does. So is it a place where somebody like where user goes to discover price, or is it where user goes and buys stuff? And then the second one is really around the ask. Is it sufficient for the stage like where you are?
Okay, let me answer the first question. The app itself is a place where you would like to say it's a place where you go if you want to find out if somebody want to buy something, you go there. And then the prices will also be there because people that will be posting things that they are selling, they are producers. And you as a retailer, or you can go there to buy things or to look for something that you want to buy. Now, in food can be meat, can be fresh produce like vegetables and fruits. And then, as now you as a farmer, and if you have ground problems, like we know that farming plants and animals are things that perish easily when they get in contact with a certain type of disease. You can get professional advice from people from universities. That's why we want to include the producer, the farmers, the producers, the market, and the universities. And the second question I will not get it.
Just around the ask, is it sufficient for the stage where you are?
No, in the phase right now where we are just, it's not really in use right now because we are just getting it for people to download and see how it works on the phones. Like, I don't know how to explain it, how it operates on the phone. Like, can the person move from one stage to the other? Can the person register themselves? Can the person get, in conclusion, to get access to the whole app itself? That's where we are right now, but it's not functioning as in like people are now using it to buy and sell products and yeah.
As a consumer, right? How does your app benefit you in the sense of, do I get a better price on products when I purchase off your app? Or what is the benefit to the consumer? Of course, if I want to do a price check, I go to Pick and Pay and see the cost of an Namibian product, the cost of a foreign product, and I can pick whichever one. So how does that benefit us? We go on your app. Is it cheaper to purchase from your app? Or how does it work? I didn't hear that.
Okay, this goes now into play on the advice that I was given by the question that I was asked here and the advice that I was given there. Now, that's for us to think of it because our main goal was we have a belief and we understand that if something is locally produced, it can be cheaper. Because when something is exported, like I said, we import 80% of the food that we consume. We have additional costs on top. And because some food we are getting from far. So our idea is if something is locally produced, we want to avail it to you on a cheaper price. Not for us setting the price, but the price of whoever is setting it, because if it's from the country itself, we believe that it will be cheaper than something that is exported with additional costs. And now again, with the same question that I was asked here about logistics, which play that part, but that's the assumed benefit of using that.
All right, so just for clarity, currently if you go to the shops and you look at potatoes from South Africa and potatoes from Namibia, the ones from Namibia are more expensive, for example. So there's already an export cost or import cost rather that's when you get your stuff from South Africa, for example. And when it comes there, it's sold at a cheaper price. So if you are talking about reducing the cost, how? Question.
We are giving you it's an app where many people come. It's like you don't only get one person. You get if we launch the app, you get maybe 100 people that are selling what you want, and you are able to choose from those that are there. Which price benefits you the most? Which price can you get from?
Okay, I'll talk to you after.
Okay.
My name is Delia. I'm not a farmer, but I have a friend who's a farmer. And whenever I visit him, his products are on the shelf of local retail markets. And whenever I visit him now, he really loves it. He's a farmer by passion, but he's more and more complaining about all the new regulations coming in. For example, he had to buy a cooling truck, because the new regulations say you may not transport your stuff from A to B without, having a cooling chain or whatever.
Okay.
He had to put up signs everywhere that his staff needs to wash his hands all the time. There is regulations that he needs to be able to prove what chemicals were used on each plant. So if something, whatever, got an upset stomach, that they can go back and prove where the tomatoes coming from. So being a commercial farmer means a lot. And I think maybe you should do more research in that regard before we may be creating hopes that the only problem to solve for Namibian farmers is a matching problem, that the product doesn't find its consumers, because I think it's a bit more difficult.
Okay, thank you very much.